And we're rolling, I guess. How you doing? Welcome.
Hey,
This is Pyrroh's podcast. How you doing? Got Nick in the
I'm doing
studio
all
with me
right.
today. Cool, man.
Doing
How was
all right.
work? How was work, man?
Work was good, man.
Oof.
I fucking.
Was it a rush after I left? It was
You know
like
what? It got up a little bit. We had about 10 people come in all at once, like I knew we were. People come in all the time.
Right. For those of you who don't know out there, me and Nick, I met Nick over at Five Guys. I work at Five Guys. Me and him both work together. He likes to work the mid shift. I'm not really that. I stick with the morning shift. I'm good there.
Mid shift is money.
Hey, you're right. Mid shift does carry a little bit more weight. You got to put a little bit more hours in, but
That's true.
I mean, it is what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That and Happy New Year's, man.
Ooh, it's a new
Happy
year.
New
Hey,
Year's.
new year, new me.
Absolutely.
We staying positive this year, though. Man, I've been having a little bit of a rough time this past year because 2017 was just, man, dude, it was kind of shitty.
Yeah,
I'm not
it was,
even gonna lie, it was shitty.
Let me tell you, I started the year off pretty bad too, and it was
I mean,
a
I'm not
downward
gonna lie.
spiral,
I'm not gonna
but
lie.
it came back up.
I had a lot of good things. Oh no, don't worry about it, man. My neighbors are crazy, man.
I got you.
Hey, yeah, we're doing this in the basement of. Actually, this ain't the base. It's like the second floor, but whatever, man. The snow's up to the window, so it's like the basement. Anyway, neighbors are loud, but dismiss that.
Crazy. Neighbors
But
crazy.
yeah, nah. I mean, it was a good year. Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of good things happen. I mean, my son was born this year, but
Congratulations.
I mean, yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. At the same time, it's just like, man, there's so much that like was taken.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I kind of have to like reflect on the space that's been provided now because hey, there's kind of like a void there, so it needs to be filled.
Yep. I'm kind of the same way too. I started out this year. I was actually I was homeless, and then I rebuilt myself up from the ground up. 'Cause, I started out I ended last year getting out of the Air Force, and I had a bad transition. You know, I wasn't able to get a job for 2 months, and when I started out the year, first day of the year, I got a job, and just kind of built myself up from a homeless man to where I am now, and just gonna keep building. But hey, this year's gonna be even better. Cheers.
You're doing good so far already, huh?
Yep, doing
I mean,
all right.
You're not homeless.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's for sure.
actually, you know what? I am gonna be moving though. They're tearing down the building.
What?
Yeah, that I'm living in.
That
down.
garage, that little garage space.
Oh well,
But
yeah.
it looks like a garage
yeah,
space.
well, yeah. Everyone notices it's that big ass garage, but it's that building has been around since the 50s, and they had like a streak of bad people staying in the other apartments,
Fucked it up for everybody.
so they ended up selling it. People that bought it want to tear it down, build new luxury apartments. You know, gentrification.
Yep, there we go with that shit again. Dude, they tried that shit with the art space.
Yep.
They tried that shit with the art space. I was like, dude, come on, man. I already saw what was happening there just because, you know, coming from Charlotte, North Carolina, they were doing the same thing there. They were tearing down all the old buildings, and it's like, and a lot of the old buildings, like that's where everybody wanted to hang out. It's like you can't take that's the history of the town. Like,
Exactly.
You can't take that away from us. But at the same time, you got to look at somebody's bottom dollar. It's like, oh shit, dude. And it sucks, you know, because me being a business-minded type person, I understand. Oh shit, well, I mean, it makes business sense to tear that shit down and
That's true.
rebuild a whole different, cheaper building, and you know, it's easier to maintain apparently.
Yeah,
Not
but
really.
at the same time, you know, you gotta keep people in mind. You know.
That's just the thing. That money doesn't keep people in mind. Money keeps money in mind.
That's true. That's true.
So, I mean, well, with that being said, it's like I feel sad that they're going to tear that building down now that I know. I mean, like I said, with the art space, the art space was just an empty parking lot. But
That's true.
the fact that they had an empty parking lot, they put the art space there, but it was poorly planned. Like, come on, man, you guys got to think about it. Think of the long-term effects that you're actually doing, because yeah, you can just put this up, but I mean, are you going to have the art space doesn't even have enough parking spaces for each tenant.
Yeah, that parking space. What is that like?
Well, not even that. It's like, okay, so if there was one person that lived in each apartment, and they each had one car, you would still be short 4 spaces.
No, that's just bad planning.
That's what
You
I'm
know?
saying. It's like, where are you going to put these people? And then you put these rules on the streets saying that you can only park here at certain times. If you park here at a certain time or longer than this amount of time, you're going to get a ticket.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, you're not giving people an option.
And they could have done something like put a parking lot on the roof, but instead they just decided to
Oh man, they could have.
make you park on the street
They could have
where they
put
know
an-
it's going
they
to
could have-
snow.
They could have put an underground parking lot.
That's true. That's true. They
put
could
an
have done it underground. And there's plenty of
Like,
space.
there's a building across the street where the Little Blue Elephant is. They have an underground
Oh.
parking lot. That's where that garage door is right there. It's an underground parking lot.
Yeah, I noticed
Why
that.
don't they do that? Why didn't they do that here? Because they weren't thinking.
Absolutely not.
They were trying to save money, to be honest. Or somebody.
Well,
was
they
trying
would
to
have
make
made more money.
Yeah, I was gonna
They-
say somebody was trying to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
It had nothing to do with saving money. It was like, we're gonna make money here.
That's right. That's right. They could have made even more money too if they decided to just expand a little bit, but no, they didn't. They just didn't do it.
Like I said, it wasn't well thought out. It wasn't well planned.
However, on the terms of good planning, what about that NFL draft?
Now, see, I didn't even get a chance because I've been setting up all day and working on everything else. See, you caught me.
Gotcha.
You caught me on that one.
Well, let's see here.
But if I was to pick a team, hopefully, because I can already see, and just from what I see, like trends and things like that happening, I can tell it's going to be the Patriots. And
Yep.
let's see, when the Patriots go up against the Steelers and beat the Steelers again, the Steelers fans are all pissed off again.
Yeah.
Patriot fans are going to be gloating. All right.
Those Pittsburgh's fans.
Oh my God!
Let me tell you.
And then who would go up against them though? That's the only people that I can't.
That's a good question.
I can't figure out.
Now-
That's the NFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the NFC.
Oh, sorry, the AFC. AFC. Patriots. There
Patriots,
are
Patriots are AFC, right?
Patriots are AFC.
That's what I was thinking.
So is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Now there are 5 teams this year, 5 that have defeated the Patriots. Only 5,
Well, tell me,
including the
one of them's-
preseason.
Tell me one of them's going up against them.
I don't know
I hope
because
so.
of those 5, 2 of them did not make the playoffs. One of them are in the NFC, the Panthers,
Okay.
and the other 2 may or may not be able to get there because they're both kind of wild card teams at this point.
Hmm.
Man, I was really banking on the Steelers beating the Patriots too, but it's just
I mean,
live and
it's
let-
still possible.
it just happens.
Still possible. It can happen.
It could happen. It's in the realm of possibility. But let me tell you, man, these teams definitely different this year. Lots of change in the NFL.
Oh yeah. I haven't been keeping up. I mean, I stopped doing fantasy football 2 years. No, actually, last year. Last year was the last year I did fantasy football, and I don't know. I don't find it exciting anymore like I did. I think that just goes back just because of the memory of that it holds. Like the person that taught me how to do fantasy football, I kind of took what he taught me about those, like learning statistics and numbers. And again, like I said, I'm a very business minded type person, so I'm gonna think of things like that and just starting to think about how much time I was using up, all the statistics, my own statistics of how much time I was using up on watching Sports Center and trying to figure out the stats and everybody and seeing their trends and seeing that let's see who's prone to get injured this week because somebody's going hard during practice and now you're questionable and
Exactly.
probable and now it's a game time decision. It's like game time decisions. I got 5 minutes to make a decision right here. Do I play him or do I bench him?
Exactly. And that's
And that kind of adds unnecessary stress to my life, to be honest with you. I wasn't making that much money. It was not like that investment wasn't, that return on the investment was much for me to just be stressing over it. So I was just like, whatever. Kind of just gave up on that, left that alone, and literally applied that, to something else. I applied it to something else, and I'm doing a little bit better at that. So,
well, let me tell you, if you have the energy to do it, it's actually pretty exciting this year. And all these teams that were not able to make the playoffs in recent years were in. Like Buffalo, for instance. Buffalo hasn't been in the playoffs since 1999. The longest playoff drought in history was ended this year. 99. Can you believe that?
So you tell they had some players then.
Absolutely. In fact,
that
1991 to 94, the Buffalo Bills made the Super Bowl 4 years straight. Can you believe that?
Damn.
They lost every year, but they made it 4 years straight.
Yeah, I did.
Everyone kept saying, "Oh, they're gonna do it this year. They're gonna do it this year," and they didn't.
Yeah. And again, like, okay, see, I'm not like a really big sports watcher. I don't keep up with sports like that because, again, I got my mind on other things. But
I'm just
I remember
guy.
Yeah, I remember when I watched, like, when I was like 100, bro. I'd be there every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, it was every week. And I knew I was just sitting there watching every single player, watching kind of how their personality worked, because you can kind of tell how they're going to really play if they're going to start scoring points. Because some people, I mean, they get on fire, you know. Like, some people get on fire and they just,
yep,
you can't stop them. You can't stop them.
Yep,
you can't stop. I remember Victor Cruz for one point. He was just going, just on fire. Like, man, this dude was putting up fantasy points like none other.
Let me tell you, Carson Wentz did that this year before he tore his ACL.
Really?
Man, he's one hell of a quarterback. He's a young guy too.
Yeah, straight out right here, North Dakota.
Yep, that's right.
Oh yeah, for those just listening too, we're in Minot, North Dakota. It's what is this? -2 right now. It was -16 earlier.
Yeah.
God, it was freezing cold this morning.
Real low.
But yeah, that's what we deal with out here.
Let me tell you, negative degree weather at some point. You know Celsius and
oh yeah.
At some point, Celsius and Fahrenheit becomes the same. At some negative temperature. I want to say it's like -40.
Just the same.
Yep, it's like, just the same. At some point,
feel the same.
You're feeling it. You're real feeling it.
Whew, that is cold. That's cold. Yeah, it was what, -32 for real feel today. And see, I walk to work at 7 a.m, so it's no sun is up, and
that's when you're gonna feel
it. And the wind is like, okay, so they say it's coldest right before the sun comes up. That's like where the low is, and man, I can't breathe. Now, mind you, I'm only walking across the street, and it takes me about 5 minutes to get there. But those 5 minutes are fuck.
Now imagine having to do that, having to run and like work out in that kind of weather.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine it. Actually, I can't imagine it.
That's what I had to do when I was in the Air Force. That is not fun.
So
let me tell you, people die doing that.
So tell me, the Air Force, how many people died? No, I'm kidding.
Let me tell you, we've had some horror stories. We had the story. There was a sergeant right out of Minot, North Dakota, who froze. Nope, I won't say his name. He froze to death. His family was horrified. He was just going right outside for a cigarette in the middle of the night and locked himself out. He was out there for 2 hours before someone figured it out.
Are you serious?
It was -57.
Holy.
He froze like a popsicle. Coroner said he died after about an hour and 20 minutes.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's
fucking nuts.
No. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I've hit the cord.
That's all good, man.
I couldn't imagine that. Like, holy.
I know, just the sensation of freezing to death.
There, but then I could just, my skin starting to just get.
Yeah, like you feel when your skin starts to crystallize and kind of like burn from how much you freeze. I mean, you feel it when you get back into the heat of like the inside, the indoors, when it starts to expand and then you get that little red rash from where it was.
Yeah,
But
that frostbite.
just imagine like not coming back from that. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's the harsh reality out here too. Though it gets cold out here.
That's true. That's true.
I think a lot of people don't understand how cold it really gets out here. I mean, I went outside yesterday, smoked a cigarette. Normally, I wouldn't go outside and smoke a cigarette in this weather because there's no fucking point. Like, why? Like, it's way
Exactly.
too cold. But I had a glass of water with me, so I was good. Smoked the cigarette. By the time I was done with the cigarette, the cup of water froze in my hand. That shit literally froze in my hand. Now the glass wasn't stuck to my hand. It wasn't like, oh, I'm all
Yeah,
decrepit
but
and shit.
it
But
was a solid brick.
yeah, there was ice in my drink, and like at the bottom of it was just a little bit of water. And I was like, damn, I didn't even get a chance to drink it. Like, because I don't know why I wasn't drinking it, because I get thirsty when I smoke a cigarette. I don't know why I wasn't drinking, but I just left it like that, and it just froze right there. I was like, wow, I wasn't even out there for that long.
Yeah.
So that's like one of those it's one of the harsh realities. Like you gotta
Just of living out here, it's so it gets real. Let me tell you.
real cold. It kind of reminds me of that one picture they had online. Let's say like 2 years ago, there was a skunk that was trying to cross the road. But it had got so cold that the skunk froze, literally walking. Didn't fall over or anything. It just froze right there, right about to get onto this road, and just I was like, man, who the hell, who sees that? Like
freezes right mid.
But how the hell
movement.
did somebody see a frozen skunk on the side of the road and then stopped? Like with enough time to stop. I mean, mind you, you're going on this road at like 70 miles per hour. That means you had to slow down, turn around, come around and find that skunk again to stop and take a picture of it. Because nobody's going to see that skunk from
Someone had to put in some effort.
Man, that just gets me. Like, it's cold out there, and you're taking pictures of things that are dead out there from that cold, and you are out there.
Yeah, that's got to be someone that's lived here their whole lives, has some tolerance, and dedication. Yeah.
That right there.
I definitely could not.
That right there. I'm sorry, that's not my forte.
I'm a northerner, but I'm not I'm not that keen.
Shit, I'm from the south.
Cold.
I'm from Houston, Texas, North Carolina. Shit, I like warm weather.
Man, I love Houston.
Warm weather. Oh, Houston is good.
I went
Houston,
to Lackland Air Force
though.
Base.
You gotta be real careful though. See, you went there for training. I went there I was born there. I lived there and I grew up there. Then I moved the fuck out of there. Whew.
Yeah, but
hey, no disrespect on Houston, but man, I love Houston. Don't get me wrong. All my family knows that I love Houston. But holy shit, it's too fucking hot, man. I can't live there.
Oh,
it's
man.
way too fucking hot.
When I was in training,
I can't do it.
I was one of the lucky ones, man. When I was in training, it was just coming off of the summer and it was cooling down. But the people that got out before me were in there. They were sweating. They were dropping.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I bet. It's one because the humidity is outrageous. Along with the heat, but then you walk the way I explain it to people. You walk outside after you take a shower. You're good. You're fresh. Boom. You walk right outside to get into your car.
Yeah.
You're drained of all your energy. You start sweating. You
just
start
that heavy, humid air.
You start questioning life. Like, what the fuck is going on with me? Why am I here? Like, oh my God. You get aggravated. You start driving. You start driving aggravated, and people are getting in your way. Oh,
it's the worst, man.
The road rage.
Ooh.
Road rage.
That road rage. Ooh.
The road rage mixed with traffic. Like, shit, dude. What the fuck are you going to do? The fuck are you going to do? Just turn your AC on, hope that motherfucker works.
Pretty much.
If that motherfucker don't work, you better hope your window rolls down. If that motherfucker don't work, you better say fuck it and just break your window or something, dude, because it gets cold. I mean, it gets fucking hot as shit down
Yep. Seems like it's one extreme or the other
there.
in
Yep.
America, you know?
That's why I like North Carolina, because it was both.
Yep.
It was both. It was hot and cold and warm and mild and
I want to find
rainy,
I want to
snowy.
find one place in the middle of the United States where it's not too cold and it's not too hot.
What would be the most ideal? That's a good question.
Yeah,
Like, what would be
exactly.
the most ideal
Place to live.
location where you get just a little bit of everything all year round? Not
That's
the
right.
extreme of everything, but just a mild version of winter, spring. Like even spring, which is supposed to be like such a great time, isn't even like much. It's just like
It really
it's
isn't.
spring, so it'd be like, all right, spring then summer. It's like, okay, summer. I don't know what it sounds like, Tennessee or something.
Maybe. You know, I
Sound
feel like
West Virginia and Kentucky, like that area right there with all the
maybe
mountains.
that might not even be enough. It might be like somewhere in Colorado or somewhere like
Yeah. But Colorado has elevation,
Colorado is elevation.
so
That's
you
true.
wanna like, because I know that the Appalachian Mountains are a lot lower than the Rockies. So.
That's true.
So anything towards the East Coast, I feel it would be a lot flatter. But I don't know.
It's possible. Maybe Virginia.
That's what I was thinking, like that whole area right there. But then you don't want to be too close to the water because of then the fucking hurricanes will come
Exactly.
fuck your shit up and be the next Harvey victim.
So
That
it's
sucks,
got to
man.
be. Yeah, it might actually be Tennessee.
Yeah,
like
you got to be
East Tennessee.
in a little bit.
You
You got to
know,
be in a little bit. Because I
something
mean,
like that.
East Tennessee is straight up North Carolina border, the Appalachian. That's like right dead center in the Appalachian Mountains. So
Exactly.
you'd be right in the mountains. High enough to get some snow once in a while, but you'd be low enough to get to the ocean.
Right there in Tennessee.
Go across North Carolina, but fuck it,
If
fuck it.
if
Right
the
there.
icebergs in Greenland ever melt, that's where I'm going. That's going to be prime land. Water's probably going to come up right to the mountains. And there I am. I'm going to be living on the mountains, baby. That's
Right
where I'm going to
there.
be.
Fuck it, why not? Fuck it. I'll go to New Zealand. I'll go somewhere out there.
Man, let me tell you, New Zealand's beautiful.
Oh,
I
I can only imagine.
I
That whole
actually-
area.
I've been to New Zealand and Australia one time in my travels over the world. And New Zealand is the most beautiful country in the world. And I'll tell you why. They've filmed so many movies on landscape of New Zealand. Like, you remember Lord of the Rings?
Oh yeah.
When they saw those huge, wide landscape shots when they're like running over the land.
That's real.
That's real.
Yep.
That's New Zealand.
It's
beautiful.
I watch Lord of the Rings. So,
Yeah. Great movie.
Not as much as I know some people around me that watch Lord of the Rings, but I've watched Lord of the Rings and I've taken notice that I don't know, like New Zealand, like Scotland and Ireland and all those, like they got like green fields. That's what I think of when I think of those places.
Yeah.
Green fields with rocks and like Game of Thrones type things.
Oh,
that
yeah.
scenery is just amazing. And where do they go? They go to Spain. They go to Spain a lot. I mean, I know that this past season. Oh man, season 7.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
Ooh.
That I
You
was
watched
getting
Game
pumped.
of Thrones, right? Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you.
I was
watched
getting
Game of
pumped for
Thrones.
that.
Oh my god, season 7.
Season 7.
I just watched it again, and oh man, I'm about to. Why
Can't wait.
do I gotta wait for
Season 8.
I gotta wait for
Season
season
8.
8.
God.
I don't even care, man. You can give out spoilers on this because if you haven't watched it, then oh well, too bad. Too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad. You know what? You know what's a good idea?
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the first season and then watch the 7th season and then skip the season 2 through 6, skip those and just watch it like that. That
Oh
shit will
man,
blow your mind because you'd
you
be like,
what? How did this
what?
happen?
Yeah, you would
You
be
know,
like if you didn't know anything about Game of Thrones, you've never watched Game of Thrones.
because you're missing the whole time when
Yeah,
Winterfell was
don't.
taken by the Boltons,
Yeah, well,
and then,
everything that
but
was
I mean, that'd be
happening.
like normal to you, I guess, at this point. You know, it'd be like going from, okay, Winterfell is controlled by the Starks, and then it's still controlled by the Starks. So that makes sense. But
But then the
then
Ironborn,
the Iron, and the fact that the
because some
Queen
Theon came in and took
and Theon,
Theon
yep,
came in and took that, or Ramsay.
and there's two fleets of Ironborn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how
Well,
did
yeah,
that happen?
and see, that's another thing is like I was saying, like if you watched it from that first season and then just skip the second through sixth season and watch the seventh season,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
okay, everything would like you would see Daenerys grow like incredibly. Like
Exponentially.
everybody would have already grown up, but you wouldn't know how the hell
She
they
goes
got
from
to
being
that
this
point.
slave woman,
Yep.
right? She goes from being a
Well,
slave
no,
that has
because because at the end of this first season, the last thing was the dragons.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now,
That's
if
right. That's
you're
right.
watching it now, the dragons are full grown, and you're like,
They're
"Whoa,
huge.
what
It's
happened?
like,
What
what?
happened?"
They go from these
You
tiny
would
little
never, you
babies.
would never know about what's his name, Tomlin, and all that. Like you would
Yeah,
never know
yeah.
that story. You would never know the whole what's her name that tried to marry or that married Tomlin. What's her name?
Oh,
She got killed in the with the high priest. Got killed with all of them.
oh,
Everybody got killed.
shoot.
Everybody got killed at once.
Yeah,
her
no
and her
kidding.
brother.
No kidding.
Like Jesus, they are not holy bad. Like Catelyn Stark would be gone. Like the
Yep.
red wedding, you wouldn't know about the red wedding. You
No
wouldn't
one
know
would.
about. Oh man.
Shoot.
And then another thing, I was gonna say that the season 7, if you watch it on DVD, they got this extra little bonus disc with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this bonus disc gives you like the history before where season 1 picks up. But it
Oh,
does it animated, and it does it with the voices of the characters, so the people that are doing it are narrating the actual animation.
that's
It's actually
awesome.
pretty cool. It's
That
actually
is
really
really
cool.
cool.
So I was gonna say that's one thing you should check out because it gives you all the history. Basically, like it's like a Targaryen history. Like everything is Targaryen. I mean, now that we're seeing season 7,
I mean,
we learned the truth at the very end that
there has to be history,
goes
you know.
of course, but it's such a detailed history. Like this is amazing.
It's awesome that they.
That's why I appreciate it so much. Like wow, this is something that I can really get into.
It's awesome that they have the ability to storytell that well, to create this such a detailed history and to make it so
Rich,
yeah, yeah,
very
eventful.
rich.
You
I
know,
mean, they think it's very well thought out. They
absolutely.
think of everything down to the stitching of the cloth. Like, wow, what? Who thinks of things like that? Well,
Exactly.
they have to. That's their job. That's a fucking hell of a job. I wish I had that job.
Oh yeah,
I want to be
that'd
in
be
the art
one hell of a
department.
job.
Please, can I join
Get
the
paid
art
the
department?
big bucks.
I will. I will.
Make it in the moolah.
Trust me. I will design for whatever I can design.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
And when you think about it, just the tiniest thing like that, it really does come down to something like that. Because when you think about something so small, it really is important. You know, people think about small things that aren't important. You know, it's tiny,
Nah,
it's insignificant.
No.
And-
No. Hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's
but
good.
The one of the best quotes somebody ever told me in my life, and I'll never forget this. After she told me this, she said, "It's all about the small but important details."
Exactly.
And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's all about the small but important details." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." I didn't understand it, but then I kind of understood it, and then I was like, oh, "Okay, I think I
Because I mean, there's just some things, and there are some small things that are insignificant, that just don't really, just not important. But what if something could snowball from something so small that someone liked enough, like here for example, if someone liked something that was tiny and insignificant, like a guitar pick,
Mm-hmm.
and say someone else took that guitar pick and used it and didn't give it back, and then that started like a little fight that someone had like between two friends, and just kind of snowballed from there and started like getting bigger and bigger.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying. Yeah.
yeah, you see now. It's just
So to go from petty to serious, like,
yep,
you ain't gotta. It ain't that serious.
but it happens.
But it does happen, and that's the. And what do I say in a situation like that? Like, listen, man, nobody's forcing you right now to do anything you don't want to do. So
Exactly.
if you feel like it's that serious, then hey, you got to take your necessary action. If I feel like it's that petty, then I'm gonna treat it like it's that petty.
Yeah.
Now, if you turn it into a serious action, it's a serious action. Now I got to treat it serious.
And sometimes you just have
But
to consider the people too,
yeah,
If
yeah,
they're like if it's a petty person, then you'll know it's going to affect them differently,
yeah,
and then if it's like someone that's kind of got a solid mindset, it won't affect them as well or as badly, you know.
yeah, yeah. No, I completely get what you're saying.
But
That makes total
that
sense.
was just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just an example. And
That's
that's uh that's
that's
good.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
There you go.
That's good. All right. Well, shit. We're gonna fucking wrap it up, man. I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. I appreciate you coming through, Nick.
Yeah, man. I got you.
Of course.
Anytime.
We're gonna do some more of these. Thank you guys for listening. This is Pyrroh's podcast, and we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.